Okay, so guys, I'm going to take a look here at the 2025 higher level perspective question here. So the first thing you want to just check there is the spectator is 130 from point A. So I would be putting a spectator down here somewhere towards the bottom right hand corner of the sheet and measuring up 130. That's corner A. So the dimensions there, I won't be going through them because, again, if it's higher level, it shouldn't be an issue. So I'm going to set up the plan there, and you can be working away as well. So it's 70, 90, 135 wide. And in 45 and in 70 and 20 left. And then the depth of it, so it's a laundry kiosk, so it's 30 and 45 in this direction, so 30 and 45, so that there is the plan of this kiosk. And this is important now here, this dotted line running along here. I'll just draw up the pictorial again there to look at it. So that dotted line is where the roof kind of comes in there, so it's like a rectangular prism really with a rectangular cut taken out of it, and there's a solar panel on top that slopes upwards at 15 degrees. So that dotted line is important because that dotted line contains these three squares here, but I think I'll deal with that later, and I'm going to just draw the kiosk first, then I'm going to put in the solar panel, then I'm going to do the doors there of the washing machines there in blue. So I'm going to just draw the kiosk first, so we'll take a few bites at the time. So the solar panel there goes back, oh yeah, I didn't say, oh sorry, I'm joining from A here, light. So that diagonal there is going to give us the location of that. So that's the solar panel, and as I said, that's sloping up at an angle of 15 degrees, but that's okay for the time being. Now, what is important here now is, here's our spectator. I'm going to give him a hat and some shoes and toes. So he's looking in at that. So he looks for this left, for this right, and you want to bisect then the angle. Do it pretty big now. So you want to bisect the angle for looking straight at the center of the object. So that there is the angle for looking straight at the object, and that's important because the picture plane, which is the pane of glass, the picture plane goes up against the object going through corner A. So this is our picture plane, which I would think of as a pane of glass. So I'll extend that. And then the spectator looks parallel to the object. So the spectator looks parallel to the front, this here is the vanishing point on the left, and then the spectator looks parallel to the building here. So that there is the vanishing point on the right. So when all of that much is done, I now want to put a ground line anywhere up here parallel to the picture plane. So just take that angle there. Here's my ground line, and then I want to check here now the height of the horizon line is 105 above the ground line, so the ground line can go anywhere, but the horizon line then is 105 above that. So that would be this height here. So I'm going to set up that horizon line up here, going at that angle, and just have to move the camera a little bit now. Okay, so the horizon line is here. Now you need to do this question on an A3 sheet because it is a big enough question, and I'm going to just project up there then the vanishing points onto the horizon line. So that vanishing point is up here onto the horizon line. Okay, so I might just squish that on. So that's my vanishing point on the right in the perspective view, and project up again the one on the left, just align that. So you do need to have these fairly accurate if you can. Okay. So that's the vanishing point on the left. This is the horizon line. This is the ground line, and that here is the picture plane, which is really like a pane of glass. EP for picture plane. So that's everything set up. Now I know the spectator is down here now, it's gone off the screen, but really it doesn't matter because we know, like, it's just a dot out there that we're going to be drawing to. So the first thing, now I could take off the sheet and move it and twist it around, and maybe I should just pause the camera and do that, but corner A, the pane of glass hits corner A, so that's corner A there. So this is the line that has the front of the kiosk, and this is the line that has the side of the kiosk. And so I'm kind of up and running here now, and the spectator, when they look at the left hand side of the kiosk, it's where it appears on the glass. That is the key thing. So I'm going to project these up. Yeah, I think I'm going to just turn the sheet sideways here now, because take off the sheet and realign it with the T-square. So that's the left hand side of the kiosk there. This is where the spectator sees the right hand side of the kiosk on the pane of glass. So I want to bring that up there, and I can now, if I wanted to heavy in, that's the right hand, that's the right hand ground line here, heavy then. I won't heavy this in across, and this is basically the footprint, I suppose you could call it. Really, I'm going to leave it like, but that's the footprint of our kiosk. And I could start dealing with heights here, but I think I'm going to just take off the sheet now and twist it around so that the ground line and all those lines, the ground line and the horizon line, are horizontal to the T-square. So I'll just pause it and do that because it makes life easy. Okay, so I just realigned the sheet there now so that the ground line is parallel with the T-square, because that makes life easier. Now, corner A is up against the glass. Now that's really important to understand that corner A is up against the glass, because I can put true heights, the real heights of stuff on that. So the real height of the top of the kiosk there is 85 and it comes down 10. So at corner A, which I'll heavy in, I can go up 85 here. And down 10 as well. So that there is the front corner, and I can vanish that to the left and to the right. And that gives me the side here of this going back there. So when I was saying earlier on there, that dotted line here is important, because that's going to tell us there where the section is removed there, where the customers walk in. So that would be here on the kiosk. So I want to look at that, find it on the glass. It's here. Bring that up. I'm heavying in, and now I know that that is the gable of the building. And on the ground, this is the ground line of that, going over to there. That goes up vertically, but I need to bring this height. Well, it's going to disappear, I guess, underneath that. So yeah, that's going to just go up and disappear under that. And the front section of the fascia there, of that roof, goes right out to the corner here. So I can heavy that in. Now you could lightly fill in the back, the rest of the roof if you wanted, but I'm not sure that I do. I'll just leave it very light, because that's all of the roof done now. And I'll just heavy in there for that painted glass or perspex or acrylic or whatever. So that basically is the side of the kind of windshield on that, and the windshield on this. A chance covering them in there. So that's a lot of it done. Now I'm going to do the solar panel next, and then I will do the blue panel, the blue doors here afterwards. So when the spectator person looks at this solar panel, it's here on that front edge. So I'm just bringing them up then to the front edge, and I'll put a little dot here, even though just so you can see it. So that there is where the solar panel starts. Now to find where the solar panel ends, you can just shoot it, extend it, shoot it out to the edge here. I'll put this in a little bit heavier than I normally would now, but I'll just shoot it, extend it out there to the edge. Spectator looks at that and bring it up so it's here. So I now know that the solar panel ends there and it has to be vanishing back to here. So that is basically the side of the solar panel is here. Now the question said to use an auxiliary vanishing point to determine the surface B in the perspective. So they said there that the solar panel is inclined at 15 degrees, so it's sloping upwards here at an angle of 15 degrees, and because it's going this way, I want the spectator to basically, instead of looking horizontal, that's gone off camera here now, unfortunately. I better slide that camera there for a second, back in again. So instead of the spectator looking horizontal, you want him to look upwards at an angle of 15 degrees. So 15 degrees upwards. And what I'm going to do there then is step off an angle of 15 degrees here. And I'm kind of rebatting now this arc. I'm rebatting this triangle sideways. It's a 90-degree angle here. So you basically create a 15-degree. You create a 15-degree triangle looking up this way into the pane of glass, and then you rebat it down sideways onto the ground. So that's a 90-degree angle there, that's perpendicular. And what I wanted here was the height of this, of the auxiliary vanishing point. So when I measure that there with my compass or with my set square, either one, I'm getting that's 46 mil. Now it doesn't have to be exact, but the sloping 15-degree line is going to be going 46 mil. Okay, above the horizontal one. Now unfortunately that's gone off the sheet, so I'll just stick in a little torn piece there, and it's going 46 above the horizontal one. So 46 above is here. That's my auxiliary vanishing point. Just throw a piece of tape on that now so it doesn't move. So the solar panel is sloping up to that. That's a 15-degree slope both sides, and I also know now though that that's the end of it on the roof, so it goes up to there, so I can heavy in this, and then that would be horizontal, would be going to the horizontal vanishing line over here and sloping back down. So that there is my solar panel, and I will, I think, throw one tiny bit of colour on that to just help you to see it. So that's our solar panel. So now I know that the roof now just comes along here until it disappears and goes in as well from here until it disappears like that. Okay, so that's the solar panel. that's the kiosk. Here's the acrylic side panels there, or glass, or whatever you want to think of them. Now, the next move there then, and I'm going to slap a bit of colour now on this, is these 3 blue doors here. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time colouring them in, but I will colour them in. Now, this is important. They are on a surface here. That's the horizontal trace. That there is the horizontal trace of the surface there that they're on. Now, you need to understand this. That is the dotted line here, is that surface. And I'm going to just extend that surface into the pane of glass, giving me, whoops, so I've extended that surface here, because the pane of glass, if I was to sketch this, the pane of glass is kind of like this, and I'm extending this surface into the pane of glass, and then I'm going to be able to put a line up here. I'll put it in blue, a true height line, and I can put the heights of all of these doors onto that line, and it's a really quick way of finding them. Then a true height line is what that is called. So I'm going to shoot up that true height line now. So extend it into the pane of glass, shoot it up here to the perspective view. I can put the real heights from the ground on that. So when I check the real heights then of those, I need 15, 20 and 10 for starters. So I need 15 and 20 more and 10 more, and then the last door there then is up 25 and 35 more, so it goes up 10, 15, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so that is all of the heights that I need here, and you can just vanish them to the far vanishing point. And now the only thing is, do you want to do it all in one go? I don't think so. So the next move there now, so we're going to use all these heights in a second, and they're on this surface, so that's exactly where we want them. What I would do next there then is the 3 blue doors here, I would put them into the plan. So, and I'm going to actually colour them in so you can see it as well. So the first one goes from 10 to 35. That's the big one. Then there's a gap of 10 and 30. So a gap of 10 and 30. And then there's a gap of 10 and it goes 20. Right, so those 3 blue lines here are the 3 doors there. Okay, so I'm going to start with the small one here first, and that's up 15 and 20 more. So that's basically the height of the first window there. I'll colour that in. Once you understand it for the first one, you'll have it for all of them. So the spectator looks at that first small window. Now what you care about is where it is on the glass. So you don't really need to colour this now, but just to help you there, I will. So I'm just such an amazing human being. Right, so that there is the first window on the pane of glass. So we'll bring that up. And we know that's going, starting there, up 10. And I'll vanish the second height there. So it's going there to here. And it's kind of coinciding with the pole at the corner, but that's okay. Doesn't make any difference. So that's the first one. Now, the other two are the exact same method. You just don't want to mix up your heights. So, the second one, then, the spectator looks at the second one here. So, on the glass, the second one is here. So, that's what we're bringing up. Now the heights for the second one then, so it's level with the first one. And then it's 15, 25, 35, 45 high. So 45 high is this one. So that's the top of that. And that's the second door opening. Now, you'll have to forgive my OCD, but I just have to colour that in. And finally then the last window or door there is on the glass between here and there. So project them up. And the heights of the last one, well, definitely the top one here anyway. And this one, because I haven't drawn any lines from it, I'm guessing they're going to the vanishing point. So that there is the three blue doors are in, the solar panel is in, and the building itself. Now, yeah, I wouldn't go to the bother now of colouring the building in green or whatever, but so yeah, that's everything there. Oh yeah, and then it said to find the height of point C above the horizontal plane. So I want the height of point C above the horizontal plane. Now, point C is this point here. And above the horizontal plane. So again there, I would use this idea I was talking about earlier on of shooting that into the pane of glass to find the real height. So if point C is here, I might just use a red pen for this if I can find it. So if point C was shot into the pane of glass, or like shining a laser dot onto the glass, it would be here. So that dot is on the pane of glass straight up from there. So when I project that up, it has to be on this line, and then I can extend it out here from the vanishing point. Just extend that. I'm going to use the red bar again there now just to help you follow what I'm doing. So I'm like shining that out there to here. So I'll stick an arrow on that there just to show the direction. So when I projected that out there, that red line there is this red line here. That there is the true height above the ground. That's what I'm looking for. So if you just measure that there, I'm getting that it's 98, but it's not really about the measurement. So I'm going to just write in there height is equal to 98, or you could just draw it in here and just call that the true height. But it's not the measurement, it's the method. It's the method that matters. So yep, that there now was that 25 question there. So best of luck with that. See you later.